wondering, why is the Cat Man doing this? For the money, bitch. This is my Riyadh Comedy Festival. Only one with a soul. Release party for P. Diddy. There was a record number of releases. On the bed, in the pool, on the floor, everywhere but the hose. But I want to be clear. Just because Kevin went to Diddy parties does not mean he did something wrong. The fact that he gets all quiet when you bring it up, that means he did something wrong. And act. Kevin cannot act. What I want you to do is go back and look at that moment where I shook Katt's hand and I looked him in the eye and I said, I just want us to be friends. Some of the best fucking acting that I've ever did in my career. I did not mean one word of what I said. Fuck Katt Williams. Fuck Katt.
Well, the roast of Kevin Hart recently came out on Netflix, and it was a 3-hour live stream special where some of his closest comedian friends came together to roast him in the most rude, vicious, vile way. What really stole the show, though, was when Katt Williams got up there. He came out smooth as hell. That little shadow on his eye, his hat was tilted just right. Do-rag wrapped around his locks, suit clean as hell, cape on like he was coming up to be the Cat Man and save the day. And as soon as his set started, I said, I think these jokes are not jokes. I think it's him telling his honest opinion about Kevin Hart in a very, very straightforward way on stage.
For the people at home, you're wondering, why is the Cat Man doing this? For the money, bitch. This is my Riyadh Comedy Festival. Only one with a soul. Release party for P. Diddy. There was a record number of releases. On the bed, in the pool, on the floor, everywhere but the hose. But I want to be clear. Just because Kevin went to Diddy parties does not mean he did something wrong. The fact that he gets all quiet when you bring it up, that means he did something wrong. And act. Kevin cannot act.
What's up, y'all? I'm Jess. Now, I don't know if you guys know where the feud started between Kevin Hart and Katt Williams, but I do remember back in the day, Katt Williams had appeared in 2018 at Atlantic Radio. They were doing an interview and he gave his opinion on Tiffany Haddish.
You only got Tiffany Haddish. She been doing comedy since she was 16. You can't tell me your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke. Why? Because she ain't done a tour yet. She ain't done a special. She has not proven the ability to tell jokes back to back for an hour to nobody. And they already ready to down Monique and up somebody who has showed them Girls Trip. Did you think she wrote Girls Trip, goofball?
LA, nigga. I've been doing shit. I was on That's So Raven. I was on all this shit. I did extra work. I was on all the white people TV shows, the black people TV shows. I used to be on Dance 360, bitch. I've been out here. I've been telling jokes since 1996. 1996. This nigga said, oh, they wouldn't let her perform in the Comedy Store. That's true. They wouldn't let me perform on the white nights in the Comedy Store, but I performed on all the black nights. They wouldn't let me perform on the white nights at the Improv, but I performed on all the black and Latino nights. And so the rest of my...
While they had worked together back in 2014 on that movie where he said, that ain't my goddamn white baby.
Whose goddamn white baby is that?
This is your baby, okay? He's just light-skinned.
That one might be mine. That one right there. I'm not totally sure. Just because you name him Darren don't mean he belonged to Darren. But I don't care what this baby's name is. This baby is rice-skinned, but not light-skinned. That is a white child. That is Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus. That is a Slavic baby, a Viking from Iceland. That's a good... That baby got 730 as a credit rating right now as an infant.
You the only one I've been with, Darren.
Bitch, let me explain to you the math. I've been in here 16 consecutive years. You know how long consecutive is, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so it means one right after the motherfucking other. 'Cause I ain't never missed a day. So clearly you've been having some conjugal visits with some other motherfuckers other than me.
We get to the Emmys that same year. Katt Williams and Tiffany Haddish are around each other, and Katt seemingly mends the fence with Tiffany because he's bowing down to her. And I don't know if it was more so him saying, listen, I love and support all Black women. I still don't think that you're as good as people are saying. Or if he was really trying to be like, hey, girl, I didn't mean it in no disrespectful manner. Or if it was just something for the cameras because they was all down at the Emmys and he was feeling good. So he just decided to do that. But then by 2024, during Katt's infamous Club Shay Shay's interview, he touched on Tiffany Haddish again, said literally the same thing he had already said in 2018 for that he seemingly made amends for at the Emmys. And he also said some shit about Kevin Hart.
15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
And his thing with Kevin Hart, y'all know he thinks he's an industry plant. He thinks his wife isn't that attractive. He thinks he's a man in a dress.
Kevin Hart wearing a dress in the SNL skit. And Dave Chappelle spoke about that as a comedian. Black actors are always, being asked to wear dresses. Have you ran into that? And what do you think about that whole Illuminati theory that people put out there about that?
Well, thanks for that softball question. It's two answers. First of all, let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. Okay? Well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me. Make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him.
And that's how he got his position in Hollywood. He feels like Kevin has stole a lot of his roles because he was willing to do a lot more than Katt Williams was willing to do in order to be in the role, do the role, act out the role. Mind you, back in 2018, Kevin did an interview with The Breakfast Club, and he views Tiffany as his sister, his best friend, his homegirl. So he was telling Breakfast Club,
the negativity that I received is from Katt Williams and Mike Epps. Ask yourself why. Those two people that fucked themselves over. All of it.
They both got their break in the same movie. They both hopped on the same movie.
I'm not here for drama, brother.
Okay.
It's not about the apology. It's not about, like, me and Katt don't ever have to talk or we can't talk. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect me anyway. I am about support. That's it. I'm about support. I'm about growth. And for me to be where I am and to say the things that I can say, it's because I have the knowledge and I know. So if we're really trying to see change, then let's support those that are embracing and marching towards making that happen. It's not about the apology. It's about change. I'm going to support that man. I'm going to be a fan forever. Whether I like him or whether we don't like each other, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of his talent. This has nothing to do with that. I want to make that very clear. This has nothing to do with that. This is not a beef. This is correcting what you said that you know you shouldn't have said. This is about you embracing your fails, your f-ups, and you acknowledging what you did and stop pointing the finger at everybody else. Eventually, you got to point it back to you.
I'm thinking to myself, it must take a long time to create a Netflix special because This was 2 years that it didn't seem like Katt was messing with Kevin or they was talking to each other at all. And I'm assuming, this is what I was thinking at first, I'm assuming since it took so long when the beef was happening super fresh and it was only like a year old, then they said, okay, let's hurry up and just put it in our special that we have coming out in 2026. But from what I looked up, it only takes like less than a year to make a comedy special with Netflix. I said, damn, they must have huge production teams. Now, I know Tyler Perry shoot fast. Whoa, under a year? I also think the writers wanted to put Katt Williams in the show because it was going to drive organic views. Everybody know Katt and Kevin do not get along, and we do want to hear them spar back and forth with each other. Katt came out and he was getting ready to deliver his speech. It seemed like Kevin started putting on that fake ass personality that he has so often. You know, where he like jiggles his shoulders a little too much and he has that goofy smile. It's not an organic laugh. It's him trying to make something funny. Seen him doing that during a lot of Katt Williams' set, but there would be moments where his face would drop because he wouldn't think a joke was funny. By the end of Katt's set, he was super cool on it. He bent down, grabbed his Catman cape and was getting ready to walk off. Kev got up and he did that one hunchback stance that says, listen, I'm a big man.
We have an opportunity in real time, this is live television, to put our fucking beef behind us. Can we move on?
You know, I'm a big man, I'm a respectful man, and I just want to come to you man to man. All right, my brother, we might have had a lot of disagreements, but me and you, we one of the greats. I want to tell you right now, me and you, let's dap it up. Let the bygones be bygones. That's me and you, big fella. What you say, huh?
And it didn't seem organic. It didn't seem like something he really wanted to do. It seemed like he was instructed to do that in order to bury the hatchet and get rid of their beef so he's not seen as a bad person and no more of his truth is told by Katt Williams while he's in these interviews. I also think Katt just said, oh, thanks, okay, talk to you later, alligator, because Katt was not about to dap up Kevin. He was about to walk right off that stage. Even though he was zooming in the back, he was about to walk right off that stage. For Kevin to do that, just to turn around, and when it was his turn to get up, he's like, I'm doing something you ain't never seen before at a comedy roast. I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna do at least 20 minutes. Let's start with Katt.
And look at that moment where I shook Katt's hand, I looked him in the eye and I said, I just want us to be friends. I did not mean one word of what I said. Fuck Katt Williams.
He spoke the most about Katt. I was very surprised too that Kevin spoke in such a manner about Chelsea, who's a good friend of his. Everybody was calling Chelsea a whore, a plastic bimbo, basically the whole entire night. So I was surprised for him to do that too. It was distasteful. The jokes that were racist, that were against women's bodies, that were extremely sexual, that talked about hanging and referenced George Floyd and how Kevin was just laughing so hard when they were talking about his deceased father who was strung out on drugs. Even when Regina Hall was acting like his mom, like she was just so spiritual and programmed by his mom or some shit. What is it, a seance? And was talking for her. That was inappropriate to me. And the jokes about Cheryl Wood's late husband, super inappropriate. I understand, oh, jokes is jokes, comedy is comedy. Y'all being sensitive. Yeah, if it's just normal jokes and it ain't talking about people who are deceased and making it seem like they are horrible people while they're dead, that's some nasty shit. That's silly shit. Even the racist jokes. I think you could still have racial jokes that don't get so dark to where they're going back in time where hanging Black people from trees was a normal thing to see. It was an actual show that people would line up for and gather around to watch.
Generations, lynching was used as a weapon of racial terror. It was public. It was violent. It was meant to humiliate, to silence, and to warn. People weren't just killed. They were made into messages. And far too often, no one was ever held accountable.
Was prohibited in 1865. Formerly enslaved people in America were granted full citizenship, the right to vote, and under the 14th Amendment, protection from racial violence. Formerly enslaved people were promised land and opportunity, but most got nothing because America quickly devolved into an era of racial terrorism and oppression for Black citizens. White people in the South were angry that people formerly considered property were now equal citizens. Many turned to violence. In the years immediately following the Civil War, thousands of Black people were murdered when they tried to claim their rights. Soon afterwards, federal troops were withdrawn from the South, ending a brief period of racial progress known as Reconstruction. Nationwide resistance to racial equality resulted in the reestablishment of racial subordination through biased laws, disenfranchisement, and terrorism, most dramatically enforced through lynchings. Racial terror lynchings of black people defined a shameful era in America. These lynchings differed from the hanging of white people in places where there was no functioning criminal justice system. Racial terror lynchings were directed at all black people. They enforced compliance with racial hierarchy and white supremacy, and ensured racial segregation and denial of equal rights.
Laughing, enjoying watching this person start to die slowly as they can't breathe. Don't let the wind start to blow too hard because now they're swaying in the trees. There's a song about this. So why would that be a joke? George Floyd's death, he had a knee in his neck and people were watching and were able to record it. And it was going on for so long that it was enough video evidence for it to go viral on Twitter several times in different points of views. And this was a man who was slowly losing his life, screaming for his mother. And the police officer sitting on his neck with no problem. Can you imagine how vile you have to be to feel the flesh of a human, the warmth of their skin, the bones of them, and still continue to try and kill them or unalive them or stop them from breathing? How crazy you got to be to wrap a rope around somebody's neck and start to pull them up a tree branch and pull that dead weight, because now this weight can't move. They can't help you get up the tree. So you just have to pull them, tie something down, and then watch them still sit there. This is a long process. Why is this a joke? Cheryl Underwood's husband taking his life, and they were making it a joke after 3 years of marriage. Oh man, that gotta say something about you. I don't think it does. I think it says a lot about the state of sadness the person was in who thought this world is better off without me. I don't think it had anything to do with her. And I think she mourns that and still mourns that. And maybe she was attempting to not mourn as hard. Therefore, she let them go ahead and take those shots because Shane or Shannon, whatever his name is, and Tony kept on trying to remind the crowd, she said I could say this joke. She said I could say it. Maybe she's trying to use that form of medicine, laughter, for her heart to get over what happened. However, I still think if she gave you the go ahead, just out of having a good moral compass and respect for elders and women, you still don't do it. You say, I appreciate you, you saying that I could go ahead and take aim at that, but maybe I could talk about an ex-boyfriend, or maybe I could talk about something else. I want to still honor the dead. There's so many different ways that they could have went about a lot of these jokes that they didn't. Went back to watermelon seeds, all that type of dumb shit. The jokes were just very dated. They were telling the type of jokes that we would hear when there was still segregation. That's the kind. The fat jokes that they were taking at Liz, it seemed like they didn't have any other joke that they could use against her. She's talented. She is celebrated. She's also received big ass awards. She's not just a normal girl. She's a very famous woman, and they didn't have any jokes pertaining to nothing like a love life or her driving skills being bad because she's a woman, something like that. It had to go to her body that we all know she struggles with. Then we had them talking about Chelsea. Nobody really touched Regina Hall. And I wonder if it was in her stipulations that you can't tell no jokes about me. A lot of Regina Hall's face during the whole thing was like, what? Ooh, okay. So I thought when Regina got up, she was getting ready to start firing on everybody who talked crazy to the ladies. However, she did that weird seance shit. Cheryl Underwood was the only one I said, yeah, I loved her set. I bet they cut out a lot from hers because she had a standing ovation. I know she went off script a couple times and had to use the jokes that the writers wrote a couple times as well, but her ability to tie things in and still make it funny, even telling us that she has to say jokes that they wrote for her and still making it funny, is a gift. I mean, wow, for what she has gone through, for her to still get up there and let people take those shots at her, her skin color, what she looks like, how her teeth look, that she doesn't have a husband right now, that he's up with the Lord, for her to still say, you know what, go ahead and take those shots, because when I get up here, I'm about to just be funny anyway. We're going to still have fun. I'm going to still make y'all laugh by using some of my own jokes. So let me tell mine, and then I'm going to tell theirs. Let me tell mine. I mean, wow. Now that's a legend right there. That's a queen of comedy right there. So what did you think? Did you watch it? Because then Kevin ended up posting a video about it, a 3-minute long video, at like 6 or 7 o'clock last night, May 11th.
My friend is what the fuck a roast is supposed to be. It's goddamn hard-hitting, relentless jokes with no consequence. It's the concept of a roast. You go hard or you go home. Shouts out to every comedian that came on that stage because they all understood the assignment, man. Shane Gillis was amazing. Fucking Chelsea Handler was amazing. Pete Davidson, amazing. Naeem Lynn, fucking amazing. Big J. Ogerson, amazing. You saw comics be comics. Cheryl Underwood, fuck. Incredible you are. Incredible you were, Cheryl. Holy shit, Cat Williams, insane. The shock factor of Cat being there, Cat's set was insane. There's no emotions attached to a roast. You get up there, you tell your fucking jokes, and we understand that they're gonna come with some fucking heat, but that's what a roast is supposed to be. Jeff Ross, amazing. Lizzo, Venus, Serena, The Rock, my God. DJ was fucking incredible last night. He's in rare form. Usher, the Burns song, so fucking good, man. So goddamn good. Tony Hinchcliffe fucking understood the assignment. Relentless as he always is, but funny. Like, you can't have emotions. You gotta understand what the fucking assignment is, man. Everybody came out there and did their fucking thing. Tom Brady was great. Did I say Tiana? Did I say Regina? I mean, I truly was blown away. Draymond took balls to get up there. Good shit, Draymond. Literally, everybody that touched that fucking stage understood the assignment. The Roots were great. Meek Mill at the end coming out was great. To all the fans that just understand and appreciate what a roast is supposed to be. You got that yesterday. No emotion, no fucking feelings, man. It's not what a roast is about. Leave the emotions and the feelings at the front fucking door. People are coming in and they're looking for the shock factor. They're looking for the crazy reaction about the hard-hitting joke. Let them fly. It's all in the efforts of being funny. It's that simple. Roast of Kevin Hart is on Netflix. If you ain't seen it, go see it.
And he immediately took it down by the time I start shooting this video, which is 1 p.m. May 12th. But luckily, TikTok got it. So I think that he feels stupid for how the rest of the evening played out. That he said they weren't beefing anymore. Just for him to turn around and be like, haha, I lied. Just for people to get online and say, oh, we ain't messing with Kevin since he want to act like that. Because he's like, oh, why don't you mess with me? Okay. That's fake. He being fake. Kevin is fake, in my opinion. This roast was his humiliation ritual. Overall, the internet has been side-eyeing this whole thing because now we are learning that there are layoffs and lawsuits suddenly everywhere with Kevin and his business partners. So he made a deal with Authentic Brands Group that gave him more personal control over his name and image, but employees reportedly were worried about it because he started to distance himself from Heartbeat Productions and the businesses that he has under that altogether. That's just my 2 cents, but let me know what you think down in the comments. I have been the Just Case and Brand. I'm so thankful that you guys did. Please make sure to like the video, have your notification bell turned on so you catch me each and every single time I'm here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.